Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Arcanautus Ascent. I know we missed a week, but that's just because personal life stuff. Don't worry about it.
It's 2020.
It's 2020. It's a miracle we are all still here. Alright, while we distract ourselves from the fallout that surrounds us, we rejoin our intrepid adventurers after dealing with just the worst. Just the worst stuff. Um, well, I accidentally started munching down on my snacks again because I have an addiction. Sorry, my bad. Dungeon Master foul. Anywho. So, we have our various adventurers. Currently with us today is Siegfried and, Zen. We will have
Yep.
another surprise guest joining us in just a very little bit. So, after successfully defeating and recovering some treasure from our
It was called Under Banner Island. I think that's what it's
Under
called.
Banner Island, yes, correct.
Yeah. Quick question about that.
Yes.
What if any of us got caught in the jaws of the giant bobbit
Into the
worm and
wall.
dragged into the wall? Was that an instant kill?
Not no.
Oh, okay.
You would suffer
I had a,
miserably first.
I see.
Anywho, so yeah, fought giant bobbit worms last time. Complete nightmare fuel.
But we survived. All of
Yes
us.
indeed. Control I. Sorry, I have some notes down and stuff, but things are a little bit disheveled because I'm a little temporarily displaced. Flynn's on our. This is after Sylvie has left. There was a small pirate mini arc going on currently. You guys are searching for the treasure on the island, or heading there at least currently. On the temple the temple of Angulus, a fisherman god, is on. So you are heading in that general direction to the northwest. Here, let me hop over to the world map real quick. Whoops.
Mm.
Whoops. Why? Whoops. Yeet, yeet. Please delete. Alright, there we go. We're back in business. Alright, so if we head up here by the banner, you have passed Under Banner Island. You will be passing by, if you so choose, the port of the port city section of Arcanautus itself. If you wanted to stop there first, you have the option to, or you can just make a beeline for the Temple of Angulus. It is your call.
I told Kay that we'd be going to Angulus first, so.
Okay. Sounds good. I will note, if you do need to get your ship back over here, that will require a trip around one of the coasts as needed. Although you could always just we'll cross that river when we get to it.
I mean, Siegfried wants to go back down here anyway.
Sorry, ping. Okay, got it. Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Noted. Alright. Will you all be stopping at Arcanautus first, or heading straight to the island of the Temple of Angulus?
I guess Angulus.
Indeed. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and go back to our waterboard here. The waterboard. Anywho. So, we're all upon the ships. Everybody's having a good time. Nothing bad is happening currently. Yet. Um, nope, Lil Puff got left behind. Lil Puff falls off into the sea and is never heard from again.
No,
Um,
trust me, he'll be heard. He'll be heard from very far away.
yeah, yeah, he will. Um, I believe our two companions are not joining us tonight, so that is all good. I'm just writing everybody's posture here. Anywho, all right, moving right along. You all are sailing for an extended period of time at this point. Your destination is just probably a couple hours away. There is still plenty of daylight left. You'll arrive around midday. Um, and that is your current line of travel. Um, the seas are relatively calm. As you are traveling, you do notice actually a higher frequency of vessels, many smaller ships, as well as some. Okay, so you see what as you begin to approach in the direction of where you know the Temple of Angulus lies. You do see the landmass off in the distance, and you see many different ships all out on the waters. Anchors down. Some you hear off in the distance the loud, high pitched squeaking of lines of fishing lines and the creaking of ships being pulled and pushed by both the waves and perhaps by things below the waves. And there is just a general a presence of a fisherman in the area of various vessels that appear to be present for the purpose of, they're fishing
Fishing?
around the temple of, yeah. Um, there's, like I said, a few minor fishing vessels, like 1-man to like 5-man fishing vessels seems to be a majority of them. You do see a couple of ships more akin to the ones that you all have amassed. Um, and yeah, so that's kind of the atmosphere. Um, will you head straight to dock, as you do see a port um, on the what would be the eastern edge of the island that you could possibly go dock at. A shipyard wherein many uh, ships are obviously tied up along both the dock itself, and as you see, there are many ships even just tied up along various spots on the coast. As you approach, you are able to see movement along the coast itself. Various folks fishing off just the edge of the island as well. A little bit further away from the hustle and bustle of the ships, of course, but still, there just seems to be a general presence of the sportsmen of the sea in this area. You see a lizard as you're, I assume, coming into port.
I leave it up to the captain's discretion.
The captain would be inclined to, we'll dock in port. I'll see about setting things straight and let you know if there are any extra fees or anything we'll have to worry about. I'll work my magic, see if I can get us off without any of that. How long do you think we're gonna be there for?
Hard to say. We gotta locate the treasure first.
Hmm.
Uh,
3 days, maybe.
sure.
All
If
right.
it's shorter, we'll head out sooner. If it's later, we'll figure it out as it
Three
goes.
days with the possibility of heading out sooner. All right. Are we here looking for treasure, or are we taking in the sights, perhaps, of the temple, or are we testing our luck in the notorious fishing grounds? What's our what am I telling the dockmaster?
Um, a small group of us will head into the island. You can tell them we're here to observe the sights and check out the island, and the rest of you can man the ships. Feel free to partake in some fishing and whatever you catch.
Oh, you can't.
Uh,
You
Eat it or sell it. It's up to
sounds
you.
good.
You
You
make
can't
use of your
stop by
time.
the
Just
Temple of Angelus without getting a little bit of fishing in, of course.
just make sure to keep the ships in tip top shape. And if there's any, but we're pretty close to Arcanautus. But if there are any crucial like repairs that need to be done, just get them
Aye.
through with while we're here.
The ships have taken a bit of a battering from our various adventures over this trip. I'd say that being in port will get some opportunities to patch some things up in a more formal way as opposed to the slapdash that we had to make do with. Yes, it will be good to have some time to repair. All right, I'll take care of the ships and the crew. You all can go about your business on the island, and I'll make sure that everything works out in the end for you.
Sounds good.
Ship-wise. All right, cool. So we're going to hop back over here, and I will go ahead and start grabbing people and throwing them into the sea.
All right, good,
Are
good.
we now? Who will be joining you in the actual exploration?
Um, I guess
Lil Puff
just
seems
the normal
excited.
crew.
He's this is new to him. I've never seen so many boats before.
Or we'll bring Lil Puff.
Yay! So Little
And
Puff joins the active crew. You can take probably like one other person, I'd argue.
we'll bring Huge to keep Lil Puff safe.
Ah, yes, Huge as Little Puff's kind of pseudo babysitter. Got it. Alrighty, that's our crew. Let me load up the island. Island. Angulus Island. Yes, alright. So,
I love that picture.
it's so... Alright,
I love
so...
it so much.
So the icon that you see in front of the sort of picture of the fish tank is the closest stock image that I could find of what is similar to the pose that you might see the symbol of Angulus in. So as you all get off of the docks, you can see off further up the island on a raised sort of in the raised center of the island, a large I guess it would be a mixture of stone and log and just a general. I talked about it last time, but yeah, it's a Fantasy Pro shop. The Bass Pro shop. Oh, whoopsie daisy. Sorry, everybody. Nothing. They just saw something. Anywho, I need to download this image.
Didn't.
Save
Well,
image.
we didn't see it, whatever it was.
Yeah, you didn't. You didn't see it, so it is all good. Anywho. Sorry. I have an actual description. Let me get it for you.
It's a fantasy. Bass Pro Shops.
Alright. The Temple of Angulus sits perched atop a hill, sprawling over a vast swath of space, its presence seemingly cowing the surrounding forest to retreat in awe and fear. Above the entrance is a mechanical sign, a circular symbol depicting a shoreline, one sec. Depicting a shoreline and the ever racially ambiguous and stylized image of Angulus in his holy gear, the anchor rod, his vest of tackling, and the iconic hat of the angler. Angulus's arms and body move back and forth with the rod, portraying a struggle against an unseen, mighty creature that surely lies at the end of his hook. So think of it as a big animatronic sign. that is sort of depicting, like, it's moving back and forth and sort of depicting this struggle with relatively limited but still impressive at the scale movements of this the symbol of Angulus. And this appears to be the main, I'd say the main marketing iconography if I was to describe it as anything. So yeah, this is what you see as you sort of enter in from the docks. All right, if I can just zoom in here. All right. So, the map. Who has the map?
Oh, I have. Wait, no, I think Siegfried has this map.
Siegfried, you have this map?
I believe so, yes.
Alrighty. So Siegfried, the map depicts that in roughly the center of the hill of this island, somewhere within what you can see just from a glance. Actually, it's a little bit tougher to determine the exact point. You all, I'm gonna say, how would you like to go about investigating? It appears to be near the center of the island. You can either tell me what you do and I could tell you the checks, or I could tell you some checks to make and then tell you what you do based on that. Do you have a preference?
I guess what we want to do.
Alright, so how are you guys investigating the island? Are you going straight, looping around the up moving path towards the temple? Are you gonna do like a quick scoping out of the temple grounds, seeing kind of looking around? Are you gonna head straight into the temple? What's the plan?
What do you want to do, Sig?
Oh, well, he would want to go to just straight to the point where it says the treasure is.
It's a relatively big X near the center of the island. There is depicted a shovel, indicating that the treasure is in fact buried. And there is a picture of a fish, as well on this map. It is a long fish with a long, sort of narrower than an alligator, but still lined with sharp teeth. Sort of this gar, fish depicted on the map. So there's a shovel indicating that it may be buried. There's a picture of this gar, and then it is an X roughly near the center of the island. So those are the hints that are given on the map. You can deem probably it may be in the temple just based on the context of the X being in the center of the island.
Well, I think rather than sneaking around, we should just go straight in. I'm interested in in some of the followers of Angulus. We're gonna need more than just us and Huge, to run the Slayers. And who's better to catch sea monsters than holy fishermen?
Nice. That is not a bad point. Not a bad point
So
at all.
we can look into that. They might have something interesting. From what we've been told, they sell a lot of wares. Maybe they'll have something that we find neat, and we can scope out, try to find the area where the X marks the spot on the map while we do a little searching about and whatnot.
Yep.
Plus, it'll give little Puff a chance to get some different culture.
Indeed. Alrighty.
Uh,
So,
So
sorry.
before we go in, are the sealed like letters relevant at any point?
Ah, yes, the letters.
Oh, I forgot about the letters. Yeah.
Yes, the letters.
Okay. Okay. Wait, the letter. If it's not important right now, you don't have to worry about it, bud.
Oh no, the wind. It's so strong. Oh no, the letters get blown straight out of your hand and back onto the ship, almost as if you'll have to deal with them later. Oh no! Whoosh! The
Oh,
wind
there's
shows.
a light shining in my eyes.
The,
I can't see.
the reflection of off somebody's the side of a what's metal? Shield.
Tin.
Tin,
Shield.
tin, tin, full of night crawlers. Yeah. Kind of holds it up like,
What?
aha, I finally have them all. And then the light kind of shines off of it, and you're like, ah, fuck. And then the wind blows the letters back onto the ship.
Holy night crawlers! Whoa.
Yeah. Anyways, so you all begin to approach the temple. Is this true?
Yes.
Sounds good.
You all seem to be acknowledged, relatively positively. There's a couple odd glances at Huge, but a couple respectful nods as well at the man's sheer girth. Lil Puff is bright-eyed and excited. He sees a couple of fishermen passing by who have a bunch of sardines or some sardine-like fish that they appear to have been like preparing and have all like harvest and are like taking up towards the temple. Yeah. So positive vibes all around. As you approach and you enter beneath the large circular symbol mechanized by some clearly mechanical, not magical, as you do hear the creaking of metal, wood, and gears as as you get closer and even pass below the sign. You enter into what is let's be quite frank here. It's a Bass Pro Shop. It's it's like kind of log cabiny, outdoorsy themed, sort of any kind of Cabela's Bass Pro Shop sort of theme that you'd see here is present in this temple. Although the main attraction outside of it is also, you note, definitely selling things. There are stations, various departments in which one can buy tackle. You see there's a trade-in counter for where various large fish are on display. You see a mounted swordfish on the wall in the back in that counter area, and various fishermen sort of discussing and sort of like presenting various catches to the 3 or 4 employees behind the counter as they begin to like sneeze off to the side, and then after they finish sneezing, excuse themselves and then begin weighing the fish and the catches, and just there's an exchange of coin, you notice, or they are passing along what appears to be some kind of, it looks like silver. Are silver dollars? Are those the seashells?
Yes.
Silver dollars. So what appears to be the silver dollars, as well as coin, in exchange for various fish. And that's one department. You notice various rods for sale, with what appears to be a very small forge, like I'd say almost like a desk-sized forge setup, where like you see various bobbers, weights, hooks are being crafted, some lines are being strung out in a section that's further back and roped off, you notice. That area is a bit warmer, obviously, from the fire, and you see a grizzled sort of looking half-orc fellow, sort of with a notepad, kind of writing, taking down orders, shouting out, 50 more feet of line! And, you know, like, listing off the strength and whatever, and just various accoutrement that a fisherman may be interested in. If you all were interested in the fishing arts, this would certainly be a Candyland for sure. Lil Puff is immediately distracted, though, and drawn to the gigantic circular fish tank in the center of the temple. All right, give me 1 sec. I'm gonna just boop, 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 boop. So sadly, I do not have visuals for the temple, as I kind of don't want to just straight up use pictures of Vast Pro Shop, because that seems a little on the nose. So I'm instead just going to help us to a little bit of narrative jolliness here. All right. So first, so Alt, I believe, is the circle button. Perfect. All right, you guys can hop onto the page as I am putting this together, as I sadly was not 100% ready for the inside of the temple, but we're not going to worry too much about that, as you'll all see it as I describe it. It is as I've described, obviously, the actual depiction of the place. This central area, though, that many are kind of talking around, sharing stories. There's various benches in which one can sit and see this giant circular live aquarium display. This is much smaller than I anticipated. 1 sec. And did I just paste you guys on the... Okay, good. We're good. I need to zoom in to actually edit these things. Sorry. So I'm just basically... I'm going to get you the basic layout. And because I've given you the description so you kind of know what it looks like. But... Sorry, as I was saying. This large... can I not edit the shapes once they're down? Really? That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right at all. What, Really? Oh, I'm on the wrong layer like a dummy. Yeah, there you go. Fucking dumbass. Alright, excuse me. Sorry about that. Here, go for a swim. Teehee. No. Okay, back in business. This is more to scale. There we go. And now I can just draw in the departments real quick. Just a rough sketch for you guys to give you a frame of reference as to where various things are. Oh, God, I wish this didn't do that. Okie dokie. So let me go ahead and... I appreciate your patience, everybody.
Thank you.
Let me go ahead... Yes, of course. As you all enter the temple, you notice all of the aforementioned objects and departments. Yeah, I'm just stalling for time here, as you can clearly tell. You happen to see, layer back, as I move all of you out of the water. Yeah, there is a large central fish tank, about, I'd say, 7 feet tall. It is forged of rock and glass. You get the feeling there is a bit of magical influence here to allow for proper water flow. You see, as you are drawn, your attention is drawn immediately to this large central sort of aquarium tank. Lil Puff just runs straight up to it like, "Oh my goodness! Look at the fishes! I haven't seen none fish like this!" You see various, well, I will just describe them as a human in our world might notice them. Various catfish, several bass, just a lot of large freshwater fish, all sort of living and swimming around relatively peacefully in this central space. Everybody go ahead and just make a general perception check for me.
Except me, I'm assuming.
Yes, you make it as well.
Oh, I do too?
Yes.
Look what's happened when you assume. You also roll. I got an 11.
All right. That's not super great.
I got a 7.
That's also not super great.
And I got a 22.
So,
Fish aren't my interest.
noted. We'll get back to that. You all happen to notice on the opposite end of the... you don't notice anything specific regarding the fish. You notice a lot of different, species are on display here. A lot of, what, you know, if you were familiar with them, you would notice are freshwater species. I need the icon for our little guy. You know what? I can just more quickly grab it from here. I needed these 3. Copy. Thank you for your patience, everybody.
That's fine.
And paste. Okay, that's our various NPCs that I needed here. Let's go ahead and convert those to token layer. All right, back in business. Can I not move them now? Oh no, there we go. It helps to be on the right layer when you go to do the thing. Control C, Control V, 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 V. There we go. It's relatively bustling in here. There's quite a bit of activity, as I've mentioned, with the various folks going about their business. But sorry, I'm getting the name. Remind me the name. It's Keil.
Angelus?
No, not that. Oh, I didn't. All right, I didn't actually write down the character's name. Like an ass. Is it the one that you have on Discord right now?
Oh, you're talking about
Saturn?
their new character.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
What are you
It's-
asking?
I'm
It's the
asking
name.
if your
It's the
character...
name that's
How do
there.
you pronounce it?
Keil.
Keil. All right. Keil. You notice this. The first thing you notice as this next group enters, you've seen people come and go from here over the past few hours that you've been here. Many folks that could potentially help you move towards your goals. You were just discussing with one of the local fishermen. Let me get his name.
Juan D. Simon.
No, not Juan D. Simon. One Charmant Jokin, an up-and-coming halfling fisherman, wearing a white shirt under big denim overalls, his short spiked hair framed by a neon orange and white striped headband. So Charmant depicted by the little holy symbol thing here that we're using, that we've been using.
Oh yeah.
Sorry?
I also sent you a little screenshot of a proper token for the character.
Yes, it is currently on the screen.
Oh, I don't see it.
It's right here.
Oh, right here?
No, right
Oh.
here.
Right here, where I'm pinging.
The waves thing?
Oh,
waves thing?
hey, guess who's an asshole? It's me, guys! Sorry, anyways, now that you can actually see the icon, I assume, right?
Yep.
Yeah, thanks, sorry. Here, let me give you permission for that. Alright, save changes. You now have control of your character.
That's a pretty sweet pick.
So like I
Yeah,
said...
It was a 5-minute doodle.
Nice.
Oh, nice humble brag.
Yes. Keil, you've been speaking to Charmant, who's been he's currently on a bit of a quest to try and catch this one fish that everybody's been talking about lately. They're just calling it the big one.
Of course they are.
Naturally. But Charmant has been, and you were in the midst of the conversation with him when you noticed this fucking hulking tower of muscle walk in with this little fish folk, puffer fish, following behind two Asimars, of different sorts. As they begin to sort of look around, and they are drawn over to the large tank that you were standing adjacent to. They're on the opposite side of it. You are on sort of a raised up viewing platform, so you can look over and into the tank. But Charmant has been just gnawing your ear off with talking about how, yeah, me and the vessel, we've been Sweet Moon. We've been on these waters for like 7 years now. We've been searching and searching, and we're just waiting for our big shot.
Charmin.
Sorry?
All right. Listen, buddy.
Oh, yes.
It's been nice working with you, but I'm trying to get out of this joint. And
Yes, you mentioned.
I think that I might have seen a way out. So I'm gonna fuck off now. All right?
Oh, okay.
Good luck.
He kind of looks back over to the tank and kind of leans on the railing a little dejected. Or he would lean on the rail. He leans against, like, the glass that is below the railing on account of being, 3.5 feet tall.
Good luck. And if I ever run past this part, don't be afraid to ask if you'd like to learn a little bit of magic.
Always interested in anything that'll help me on the waters. Of course. Whoop, I'm dropping shit in real life. One sec. Sorry. Okay, back to business. So yeah, Charmant was just telling you about, this, one fish that's been snapping lines left and right, stuff like that sort of thing. But yes, you notice this group of folks coming in and sort of taking in just the general scenery of the region around them. As they watch this small fish folk, who looks a little bit like a puffer fish, a lot like a puffer fish. His face is pressed up against the glass, and he's just sort of looking at all these fish that he hasn't seen before. You guys notice an individual coming around the bend, around the large fish tank. Yeah, you can go ahead and describe what they see as you sort of are walking around in the direction of them.
You see what is unmistakably an ISO. Definitely does not carry themselves the same way as Shilvy. They seem, even from their relatively expressionless faces, you can see that this guy would have a shit-eating grin if he had a mouth.
Any particular notable equipment or anything they see on you as you're approaching?
a massive backpack and a cloak that appears to be made out of tentacles.
Oh. Lit.
Oh no.
So you guys see
So
this unique individual approaching, and
it does exist.
yeah.
I see the tentacled
The
ISO
interaction with Keil
and
can lead this next segment of the discussion as you guys just go ahead and go for it.
yeah, so I see the tentacled ISO and immediately am reminded of Sylvie and all of our good times and all the bad times and turn around.
Oh! uh, Zen just straight up disengaging, yeah?
They're wearing clothes made of tentacles.
Yeah?
What about Zen makes you think he'd be okay with this?
Sure, I feel that. How's Siegfried reacting to this individual approaching your group?
Just gonna completely ignore it.
Oh, dang. Just watching Little Puff enjoying the fish?
Mm-hmm.
Aw, how sweet. So Siegfried, you're not paying a ton of attention as you do notice. You notice just from your own natural perception that, oh, Zen is backing away from something neat. Oh, but Little Puff is
I'm
having so
like
much
peering
fun.
over my shoulder every once in a while, like oh god, it's coming closer. No, no. Like
Keil, these
trying not to be overtly rude, but like you can obviously tell he's like frazzled.
Keil, these people clearly aren't from here and they haven't been here a while. Obviously, they're definitely new arrivals, which means they have a ship, and it means they probably might not be long-term stayers. They don't look like the typical fisherman.
Ah,
Hello
it
there.
flanked me.
As Keil continues to approach the group and attempts to interact.
Uh, hey, how's it going?
Hello. How are you?
Cool, cool. What's up? It looks like you want something?
Well, you aren't a regular around these parts. And when irregulars come around, there's always a ship. And I'm hoping to get a move on from here. Think you could give me a ride?
Uh, ride where?
Arcanautus.
Ah, that's not a coincidence. Yeah, we're heading to Arcanautus after this. We just have some business here first. Uh,
Alright.
I mean, I guess we can give you a ride. I guess. I would just say, don't piss off this guy.
Who are you pointing to?
Um, eh,
Oh yeah,
who
Siegfried.
do you think?
Of course, silly me.
Low puff.
Yeah, I'm pointing at Lil Puff. Him too.
Yeah.
And be careful of that one. He won't. If you start talking to him, he won't stop. I warn you. But yeah, sure,
I'm
whatever.
quite the same.
If it's just the ride, sure.
The whiskers are
Just
so cool.
just don't cause any
Yes.
trouble. I guess. Sure. Hey, huge.
Aye.
Um. This guy's saying he wants to tag along the ship when we get back. Just keep an extra eye on this guy.
Of course, we're developing quite the huge crew.
And we're only getting started.
Yes.
W-
And yes, I think that will do quite nicely.
Yeah,
But
like I said. Oh yeah, what's up?
Huh?
You added a butt.
yes. May I ask what you were doing here?
Shopping.
Not
He
a
raises a non-existent eyebrow.
not a particularly uncommon occurrence.
Yeah, we're checking stuff out, doing a little searching. Quick question. Is so from our perspective,
I've added
the
some
map is
icons for
leading
what's
us
going on.
to the center of the ship. I mean, of the temple, correct?
You're not. The temple. The X is big enough that it encompasses the temple. But between the shovel and this particular fish, that is depicted, slightly stylized on the map, there aren't really many hints outside of that. You may need to do some, individual investigations or ask some of the, locals if there is anything in particular that is reminiscent, of this.
Okay. Before I
Can I
start doing that, oh,
can
what's
I
up?
roll an insight check to know about like their treasure hunting?
You can roll an insight check to determine if you believe they're shopping.
All right. All right.
Zen, go ahead and roll a deception check as a counter. Keil, you're kind of able to determine, and you could tell just from the appearance. You get the feeling these folks, even if they are here for shopping, they're probably not just here for shopping. You're not sure
They're not
what,
here
you'll
for
have to
shopping.
investigate further, but they've got
We're
something
here for
going on.
killing.
Siegfried, perchance do you have the map out and are looking at it, or is it stowed away for now?
Stowed away.
Stowed away. All right. So there's no visual indicator that you're currently on a treasure hunt.
Hmm.
Keil, they appear to just be shopping for now, but you get the feeling they have an ulterior motive.
You're not just here to be shopping, Zen. Or well, oh,
Whoop.
right. Sorry.
He doesn't say
Actually,
that.
Nope. I do not say that.
Ah,
walk
shit!
away.
Sylvie unmorphs. Oh, well, you got me.
You
Nope.
got me, guys.
I walk away.
I'm kidding, of course.
Hold up. I'm going to figure out the distance thing.
Yeah, I'd say there's various shelving to this side. There's various shelving, like aisles of tackle, various kind of smaller, sort of smaller shelves and tables of like pre-created fishing gear. There's some clothing in the back rows, some what else do people use to fish? Some fake bait near the front, some chum somewhere in a can. Chum in a can.
Ew.
Chum in a can is on sale. You notice?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
a while
tell.
back.
Oh.
Hold up. And Keil is going to walk around the corner.
Okay.
And just be creepy like.
And I'm going to DM the DM as to
Very
what
cool.
he does.
As they
And-
DM the DM, Zen, you were about to say?
Let's Siegfried go first.
A while back, while I was fishing, I caught this. You said it was a sea hag's embrace, and I still have its
Oh, yeah.
spines. So can I sell those, or?
You can go over to the fish exchange and see if there are any buyers. Yeah.
All right, I'll do that.
All right, you head up to the northeast section of the temple, and sort of there's this general hustle and bustle of people in this area. There's 3 or 4. I shouldn't say hustle and bustle. It's not crazy busy. There are 2 counters currently open. You see they're both occupied by fishermen who are currently turning in their catches. One appears to have caught a small sailfish of some sort. and the other is just handing in a net full of various assorted fish that the man at the counter is slowly kind of trudging through and sort of tossing out the bycatch, like some shitty bycatch, things like that, while the other gentleman is appraising the sailfish rather intently. Looks like it's probably only like 20, 25 pounds tops. It's still pretty good, but it's definitely not not a particular. You know what? I apologize. I realize in hindsight. So like a 50, 60 pound sailfish, like a pretty decent, if a little small size fish. So you're currently waiting in line. Siegfried, are you gonna wait in line?
Yeah, for now.
Okay, so we will get back. You will, in that case, we will move away from you for just a moment. Zen, you're up.
I'm gonna tell Little Puff to try to look for a fish that looks like the one that was on the map.
All right,
So
you're
I'm gonna describe
specifically
the dark
searching,
one
where? I assume in the, tank
in the
itself?
fish tank.
All right,
Yeah.
go ahead and roll, investigation with advantage. Or, you know what,
Would-
it's more perception, I guess, isn't it? Because you're trying to pick something visually out of a scene.
Well, no, I'm like telling him to like look for one. It could be like I mean, I'm not good at it,
Little
but
Puff is
I guess
assisting you, so
performance.
you have I'm sorry, what?
I said I'm not good at it, but I think performance would work. Like me just accurately describing it, like how it looks, or nature, or
Nature.
I don't know.
Because you would have to extrapolate, because I said the image is a little bit stylized. You'll have to
Yeah.
extrapolate based on existing knowledge of this type of fish. Are you describing it to Lil Puff, or are you looking yourself based on
I'm
what
describing
you're...
it to Little Puff to
Oh!
see if he can
Oh, are
find
you gonna
it.
let Little Puff do the roll? With advantage?
I mean, sure. I was gonna just tell him to do it and then go on my own thing while he continues to look.
Okay, if that is your intent, then we can do that. I'll still let him roll with
Okay.
advantage for a thing, depending on how you roll. Go ahead and roll nature.
Nature.
To
Alright.
accurately describe the biological and the appeal of this.
It's a fish.
So, you tell Lil Puff to look for a fish with big teeth. He proceeds to point to several fish swimming by as they open and close their mouths. They all got so many teeths. Oh, I'll keep an eye out. This is the best. Look at them all. It's so cool. I want to swim around in the tank. And he begins to head towards the slightly elevated area as Huge sort of quickly approaches him and sort of puts a finger on his shoulder and it's just like, no, little one, that may be a huge mistake.
I'll let them do them.
Yeah, they do them. All right, Zen. Okay, actually, you know what? Here, let me get back to Keil. Never mind, Keil's player just went to the bathroom, so we're not gonna do that.
Oh man,
Zen,
they wet themselves mid game. Gosh.
Zen. Give me one sec. I have to look one thing up. What is your next line of action, Zen?
I mean, my main thing I'm doing here, other than trying to find the treasure, is looking for some people to recruit. So.
All right, so you're looking for recruits. Are you heading over to the Forge Master to sort of point you in the right direction for some folks?
Yeah, and I can maybe ask him if he has heard anything, any tells of like a treasure or whatever, or maybe like if he knows where I can find some a paladin or two of Angulus or something along those lines.
Interesting. All right.
He works the forge, so he definitely, if there was gonna be such paladins, he'd probably be the one to help craft for them.
I like that line of thinking, and will properly appreciate it. All right, so you go up to the gentleman, the forge master. He is wearing a name tag that says drawn.
And you said he's a half orc, right?
Yeah, drawn the half orc.
Okay.
Half orc
I'll,
Fisher Smith.
I'll go next. Let's go to Siegfried for a bit.
Yes.
Get him some time.
Siegfried. Eventually, the gentleman who has the one sailfish leaves a little bit perturbed, but with his small satchel of these silver dollars put into a pouch as he heads back off down towards the purchasing section.
Oh, I think they're called sand dollars, actually.
Sand
Now I think
dollars or
about it.
silver dollars? Silver dollars is a different
I think they're
thing.
called sand dollars. Let me Google it.
It is an animal. Yes, sand
Yeah.
dollar. It was sand dollar. Might be.
Nah, I mean we are all missed.
All right, we're back in business. One sec. Let's find out what a silver dollar is real quick.
I think it's referring to an actual type of currency.
Oh, it's no. Wait. Yes, you are 100% correct. A silver dollar is an actual dollar coin. Silly me.
Mhm.
Zen, I just wanted to real quick before we head back to Siegfried. Siegfried, you are finally bringing up your spines to the counter. Zen, what were your surface thoughts, just in general, like your surface kind of thoughts that you were thinking while you were describing the fish to Lil Puff? Kind of what was going through your head at the time. Nothing deep, just kind of like your general, like, even mood or sort of general topics.
I guess like this fish might have to deal with the treasure. It's got a thin snout, sharp teeth.
Yeah, thin,
and-
long snout.
Yeah, and long snout. And I guess that would be the surface
Sort of just
thoughts.
thinking the description and how it is linked to your goal.
Yes.
Okay, makes sense. Anywho, Siegfried, back to you. You present these spines to the gentleman at the counter, and he sort of smiles and chuckles and says, "Where's the rest of the creature?"
I stare blank into his face.
I forgot he doesn't talk.
Ah, of course, of course. All right, well, for these... and he sort of, he'll grab one if you allow it to kind of assess it. And he does. He sort of looks over and says, all right. Let's say 12 gold per. These are in pretty good condition, actually. Looks like it was a pretty big one, too. Damn. Don't want to get a hug from this one. That would be a rather nasty way to go. This is for the larger spines. Siegfried, how many spines did I say you got?
You didn't say an amount. You said there was just a bunch of various sizes.
Okay, yeah. So for the larger spines, he gives you 12, and then the smaller ones a little less. We'll say it comes out to around 85 gold. If you'll trade those out, then he will take the spines.
Yep.
He mentions, all right, you want it back in gold or the local currency? I can see it. Sorry?
It's gonna show a piece of gold.
Ah, of course. Ain't no shame with standing on, with gold at your back. Alright. I see you're new around here. I just wanted to point out for you. You get a little bit more on your trade-in, for any of the local equipment if you, trade in the local currency. Just to let you know. Sand dollars are the, trade-in commodity that we use around here for that. It's basically, think of it as store credit.
Siegfried's gonna nod his head and wave goodbye.
All right, there you go. You skedaddle, joining Huge and Lil Puff as they both continue to look around. Huge, in the slightly higher up area, is beginning to sort of look around at the fish and is sort of observing them. Not huge, not huge. A couple of these fish are big, he says a bit condescendingly. Based on the creatures that you've been fighting and encountering over the past, like, week or couple weeks, you get the sneaking suspicion Huge's expectations of sea creatures have been raised unreasonably high.
These ones are, I guess, big.
Yeah. Zen, we can loop around back to you unless Keil wants to act on anything.
Hello again.
Are you approaching him as he was, you see this, Asimar with, Zen, remind me, are your swords visible? Are those, notable?
If I'm not in combat, they're sheathed, typically.
Sheathed. All right, with the two
Unless
sheathed blades. Yeah. In discussions with the Forge Master about whatever it may be, Zen, you're just getting a basic gist of, like, what are the topics that you wanted to talk to him about? I could just give you some baseline of what he told you.
I guess I'd first, to like get things rolling, be like, I see you here at the Forge. Impressive work. What's your best work here? Something that really gets bang for your buck would be like my entry thing, and then I would ask about the recruits.
The tri
and
hooks
then I
I've
would
got.
try to do.
The tri hooks I've got are legendary. Lots of folks going after the big one with my wares here. For sure, if you want something fresh made and made to last, this is the place you come. You want some stronger lines? We forge them out of entwined steel. Absolutely wonderful process. New and almost exclusive to the Temple of Angulus. The blessings of the Fisher God are strong with this forge, I tell you what.
Impressive. I take it
Indeed, you
that
in the market for some
you
line of
work up.
hooks?
How much are they? Well, give me an estimate for just a
For
basic
the
set.
line, we do about 20 feet, runs 50 gold per 20 foot. Bid on, and that's for the steel line. It's exceptionally strong. Most things in the sea won't break it unless you hook onto a leviathan of sorts, or anything with magic teeth. Can't quite act against that with the resources here. The hooks, of course, will run you somewhere between 10 to 20 silver for one of my regular crafted works of the various sizes. Or we get up to around between 5 and 8 gold for my meteor hooks for things like sharks or any other large game.
Do you have anything that would so we're in more of the leviathan hunting business. Do you have anything that would work well with this guy or that guy over there?
Oh, and you point to Huge?
Yes.
Oh, man. You see a twinkle appear in his eye as you speak to him, and he scratches his chin, kind of puts the clipboard down to his side for a sec, shouts over his shoulder, "Oi, you got the 2-ton line ready?" And they're like, "We could have it ready in an hour." How much you need? Little bit pricier. 100 gold per 20 foot.
100 gold
Worth
per 20 foot.
every gold, though. I'll tell you off
Sorry,
the top of my head, we usually run around. If you're hunting something like that, 200 feet is, I'd argue, pretty necessary. It's a little on the expensive side, but if you want the best equipment, you pay for the best equipment.
Does it come with a rod to fit it? It's gonna need to be some real strong to work with that
Of
guy.
course. I can, I can set something up for you. If you're, now, as one of our more expensive products, of course, I can maybe hook you up for a significant discount on the mounting. Usually now, this is something you mount on a ship, but just looking at your friend over there, and he sort of eyes over to Huge, his form looming over the side of the tank as you notice fish are not swimming away from him, but in fact sort of enjoying the shade that he provides from the illumination. Like resting beneath him like one would a mangrove or some sort. I could actually... I could make an actual rod for that gentleman. What an opportunity. You know what? If you buy 200 feet of line, I'll throw in the rod for free.
Hmm.
Hook will
Right.
be an extra 5 gold, but that's barely of note.
That sounds good. That sounds good. I'm actually looking for something else in addition to something to fit my friend over there. A couple things, honestly. Um,
Do
as I
tell.
mentioned, we're pretty much in the Leviathan hunting business, and I can't think of a better place than here at the Temple of Angelus, uh, to search for some fishermen blessed by the fisherman god himself
Ah.
to help us in our craft. Do you know anywhere? Do you know if there's any such people available?
Ah, you're looking for those with both luck and skill. Yes. Well, if I was to recommend anybody, frankly, as this little... He kind of looks around trying to find him. As this little fella, Sharmit, Sharmit joking. He's been going around, he's a regular here. Been praying at the temple and offering up many, many different, significantly larger than one would expect from him catches. Little bastard's got a fire in him, and Angulus' blessing for sure. If you see him around here, he's usually hanging out by the tank telling various stories about, he thinks he had the big one on the line once, but of course, and he kind of like waves his arms out and like points to all the fishermen around, and it's just like, you hear a lot of stories. But the little guy's got a good spirit and, frankly, a good heart. Good folk to talk to if you're ever in the mood to exchange stories, or in your case, perhaps look into a lucrative investment with a skilled angler.
Thank you for that.
Of course.
One more thing. Have you heard tale of, and I would go to describe a bit about the fish again, um, which I
Oh, old
probably have to
Snappy!
roll again, right?
Oh yeah, old Snappy.
So,
He's the alpha of the he's the big one in the sits at the bottom of the tank usually. The other fish don't really bother him. Yeah, he's got his own little section down there. Yeah, no. Nobody really messes with him, but he's a bit of a legend himself. He was caught over in the what is it? The Ascending Menagerie? Up from a river that ran down towards the sea there. He would swim uphill. I think every near the summer solstice, round there, and folks would see him, and I hear lost their lives to him, but that may just be rumors. There were never anybody knew or anything, so just tales of unlucky folk. But yeah, that right there is a 15-foot gar. He's a toughie and an oldie. We have no idea how old he is, but he's got scars and he's missing a few scales, and he's meaty. Oh, he ate well. Now the magic in the tank sustains him mostly. It's the tank itself is a little bit outside my knowledge base, but supposedly blessed by Angulus himself. Back when he walked the earth, as it were, or sailed the seas, it provides an environment in which any catches that one is particularly proud of are able to be displayed and enjoy their time in captivity until they're either re-released back into the seas or rivers, or, prepared as a meal, or in the case of our lovely tank there, put on display to attract and get customers in the mood to do some shopping. See if they can catch themselves any similar bites, similar fish. My vocabulary is lacking for the positive influence it has on the, I'll say, business of the temple. Yeah, old Snappy, don't tap the glass if he's looking at you. He's a little, yeah. Like
So
I
he's
said,
pretty much-
usually sits around the bottom of the tank. Usually doesn't try to mess with any of the others as long as they stay away. All the other fish, they give him a wide berth.
So he's pretty much a legend type deal. That's why he's kept around.
Indeed, indeed. Bit of a mascot he is, even. If we had one, besides Angulus himself, of course.
Okay. Thanks for the info. I'll be back about the special order.
Of
I have
course.
to. I gotta get measurements. Ask my friend. How long they want it. Thank you very much. I'll be back.
Alright, cool. Alright. So we will say then that is when you notice, and that is when, approaching, you see that, ISO from earlier. Oh, sorry. Was Keil still approaching as that conversation happened, or did Keil pass by?
He was just walking around, but when it finished, he heads back.
Alright, sounds good.
Oh, hey. What's
Hello.
up?
Nothing
Yeah.
terribly. Nothing terribly. Just coming to say that, well, seems that you need help catching this fish. Maybe looking for some kind of treasure? Perhaps?
You may,
No, we
want to
just.
speak up, just a heads up.
Oh,
Well, no, I can hear
sorry.
him.
I know, but just for the capture.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but that did get recorded. Sorry, continue, Zen.
I mean, we just heard about a fish that was like that. Thought I might be the big one, The darn. Yeah. I don't know exactly when we'll be shipping off, but just keep an eye out for the three ships together. Our big guy, you can see him from a mile away. I have to look for some holy fishermen. So, do you need anything else?
No. But I was
All right.
wondering if maybe you would like a bit of magic to help in the catching of this fish.
Well, I don't even see why I would need to catch the fish as it currently stands. But if it does turn out to be that way, you're definitely at the top of our list of people we know here that we would ask to help steal a fish from a temple.
Very well then.
If you have any other questions, feel free to talk to my friend over there or Huge or Little Puff. They should be able to, get you updated on whatever.
While you don't know the names, you get the feeling the individual known as Huge is the one that's 12 feet tall.
And I guess I'll look for the Holy Fisherman somewhere. There's a lot of people here.
So,
I'll
are
look
you
for 'em.
specifically
There
looking for a
is-
holy fisherman, or are you going to go to the gentleman who was recommended?
I mean, I
the
don't
halfling
know. He
individual?
didn't describe what the guy looks
I
like. So
apologize.
I don't.
That's my bad. He would have described the halfling in the denim overalls with the white shirt
Okay.
on. Sorry. So yeah,
Before I
you
did
would
that, I
recognize
would
him
ask anyone else.
if
I
they
would
have
ask
any
for
feedback.
Ayo,
like a second
I
opinion.
didn't finish.
Oh, whoops.
I was
Oh,
gonna respond. Oh.
Vroom, vroom, vroom.
I won't have any questions, or at least none that won't be answered by the time that I ask them.
cool.
Cool. Alrighty.
Yeah. In Zen's head, he's speaking to Halo and Numa right now, and he's like, "Weird. That guy's really fucking." And
Yeah.
he's just gonna.
Halo agrees.
I'm a wizard.
Seems.
What do you expect?
Halo agrees. Seems kind of odd. Numa is apprehensive but optimistic. All right, so Zen, I'll just say to expedite things, you ask around a little bit more. Did you have any particular questions, or was it just more about potential recruits?
I would ask about recruits and then maybe try to glean any information on, like, I won't say treasure or anything like that, but like any things about like something like uh this is difficult. Zen's not the most subtle guy. Uh he's like you hear anything like fuck, this is hard.
You're not in. I'll say it's not awkward. It's busier in here than I depict with the number of NPCs, but there's generally a bit of a hustle and bustle. People are going about their jobs and stuff. You're noticeable, but you're not like being eyed by everyone. There's no suspicion as you go around asking about fish and fishermen. It's like that's kind of this place's shtick. So don't
Yeah,
Zen
okay.
doesn't feel particularly pressured by the environment. I will put that out there. And not to mention
Alright,
just the kind of coziness of the sort of like, and like the it's a trade club essentially. It's a place with a bunch of people dedicated to their craft that seem passionate about it, and like there's generally not a very hostile atmosphere. Just to put that out there.
Okay, it's just that it's hard to
Articulate.
put into words. Hey, have you heard anything about a treasure on this island without like pulling out red flags? You know what I mean?
If you can think of a way to phrase it, I'll let you roll. But if you can't think of a way to phrase it, I can only give you general answers.
Let's go to Siegfried and the others while I try to think of
Excellent.
something.
Siegfried. Lil Puff is pouting a little bit. And he's like, I want to swim with the fish. I want to go in. I want to swim with the fish. I want to pet the fish. The one with the whiskers look fun like they tickle. Huge, I
Siegfried-
want to pet the fish.
Siegfried see any danger in this?
Siegfried, make an intelligence check.
Oh, we love these.
We do love these from
So, Siegfried, I'm just going to say it wouldn't be dangerous for you, you don't think?
I've never seen anyone roll as many zeros. Oh my god! This is legendary.
So Siegfried, there are several factors that could be dangerous for Lil Puff's health. if there's anything negative in the water, from accumulation of either waste or any other toxins that could possibly be in it, that could be an issue. You realize that also there is the chance that they may nip at him, nip at his fins or at any extremities he may have. This could cause him to puff up and react, which may harm him as well. He may panic and begin to flail around, and he may damage one of the fish, which may make maybe the residents unhappy. Him swimming in the tank probably is also frowned upon, as there is a sign to your left that says no swimming. It also says don't feed the fish, but you know. So there are several things that could go wrong. Siegfried, I'll say with that intelligence check, you also, by nature of your, just fucking lit smart brain, you notice some of the fish aren't swimming near this, central area of the tank, and you get the feeling there is something threatening in that, rocky sort of segment that you can't quite see, just because of your perception check from earlier, unless you want to make another perception check again, now that you have, due to your intelligence, acknowledged that there is probably something even more threatening in the water than one may expect.
Yeah, I'll do a perception check.
Sure. Go ahead and make another perception check. I'll give you advantage on this one just because you did the, you got the nat 20 for intelligence. We'll go ahead and take that 17. You notice, it's just the long snout sticking out of the rocks, the mouth slightly ajar, these jagged teeth that sort of stick out to the side and hook up and down, and seem to interlock as it slowly opens and closes its mouth. This large, armored fish, long, theoretically long, just based on the, continuing with your big brain, you are able to extrapolate based on the length of the snout that the fish is likely between 10 to 15 feet long, and is likely a large predatory, probably an alpha predator of its region, fish. Not as big as some of the things you've seen, but probably still pretty huge, as it, seems to be just waiting between the rocks for something to get close, or perhaps just idly relaxing. You're not quite sure. So yeah, there's some big scary fish in there, and so there's a lot of reasons Little Puff shouldn't swim in there.
Alright. I'm just gonna look at him and shake my head no.
The Little Puff kind of, oh, Huge? And he kind of looks up at Huge like, do as Siegfried says. There is huge wisdom in his words. Also, the sign says no swimming. I am sorry, little one. No matter how huge you are, you must listen to what a sign says next to a display.
Huge always just listens to signs. Good to know.
Indeed. Lil Puff seems disappointed, but just continues to kind of observe the fishes that are present. Siegfried has not been updated yet by Zen on the nature of their hunt. Although, as having the map, Siegfried, I'll say since you have the map as well, you acknowledge that, especially with the Nat 20 intelligence, that's probably the fish that was depicted on the map.
Alright.
Who would like to go next? We kind of have this general atmosphere that is present, the situation, the potential problem, and the potential solution are present. Who wants to act next? What is next for this group? Zen, you currently sit in front of the rod sales department where people get custom rods with lines made from the forge adjacent. You're talking with some of the one of the local fishermen, a wood elf gentleman wearing a straw hat and chewing on a piece of grain, who seems to just sort of be pondering over a couple rods and sort of just kind of giving a side eye to certain ones, and just seems to be browsing.
Okay. I think I have an idea of how I would go about asking these people. Try to glean some information on the potential of the treasure. Um, so after making a little bit of small talk, so I'd be like, "Hey, you look like someone that's a local per se, someone
Yup,
that's used to being in the area.
indeed.
Uh,
Been
so
fishing around these parts for up 20-something years.
wow. Uh, Other than the like immense value equated to just the sheer quantity of fish and how good the fishing market is near this island. Have you heard of anything special, anything else special about this island?
Well, this
Like
island.
any, yeah.
Well, this is where Angulus spent most of his days. Fishing just off the coast. Taking out his ships, just fish around the waters around these parts. It's
So
said
you're
that
saying
you'll never catch the same thing twice here. Of course, that's now obviously incorrect, but the implication of the phrase appears to be that you'll begin to see between the sardine, the marlin, the infrequent barracuda, you'll see some unique specimens. Some, well, can I just say, I once caught a pretty huge fish, probably around a 300-pounder. Thing was half grouper, half octopus. It was terrifying, to be sure.
Uh, so you're saying that legends say that
Had mighty hook
Angelus.
tentacle. He begins to expound upon the fish immediately.
Oh yeah. But so legend says that Angelus. Okay, please say his name. I'm so lost in his
Angulus.
Angulus. Thank you. It's so
Angulus.
my brain ain't working with his name. Angulus. It said that
Don't
he
add
lives
too many
here?
eyes or it becomes dirty.
So did he have like a house here
Yep,
on the island?
a good old fishing hut. Wasn't
Uh,
really, preserved, unfortunately, due to, various storms that blew through. But the temple itself was built upon where his, old residence used to be. Hell, the fish tank we've got there was actually a magical sort of display tank, or at least supposedly, this is what I hear. It used to be Angulus's own display tank. He'd store his most proud catches in there and either display them for visitors to his little island here, or keep them up to cook them up later. Or just to keep them around to give them a side eye and, just, I don't know,
was
keep them
was
around.
that garfish that I heard about, the one that
Old Snappy?
be yeah, was Old Snappy one of those fish? One of those fish?
Supposedly. Now, this was, Old Snappy is, as the name may imply, he's rather old. Probably somewhere close to the world of, 80, 90, maybe even 100 years.
That's not very long. Wait. Okay, I'm a little confused about lore now. How long was it since Angulus was here? Was he
I
here
sup-
like 100 years ago?
The last time Angulus was sighted around these parts, I think he made an appearance, or at least legends say, around 75, 80, 75, 80 years ago. Now,
Like, there's a
supposedly
god
it's
here.
not the actual individual anymore, but a avatar of sorts. Now, I'm not into all the religious mumbo-jumbo aspects of it, but when the soul of an angler can't quite be settled with what he's caught so far, I can imagine him stopping by again to deposit a gift to the temple in his name. Now listen, it's more of a spiritual sort of situation. The guard just kind of showed up after everybody had been hearing about it for a few years. Hey, Jerry, how long were they talking about old Snappy before Angelus done caught him? And the gentleman behind the counter, a green dragonborn, indicates probably 15, 16 years before Angelus decided to interject and cast his line. Indeed. And now nobody heard from him since, but like I said, we don't. Everybody is under the impression it's not the actual gentleman, but one very closely matching the typical depiction, and he indicates back towards the sign, and who did not leave
the nondescript sign.
Exactly. And who did not leave a name, had brought the bounty, still thrashing, and tossed it into the tank. After a small amount of carnage, it settled down and seemed to have accepted its place, and that it had been bested.
So people just leave the fish in the tank? No one ever buys them
No,
or anything like that?
So, the fish in the tank, will have competitions here and there, and the victors will add their fish to the tank. If someone of an Angelus-style composition were to arrive and just throw something in, ain't nobody gonna question that.
But what about take something out? What if
That's
someone
not
wants
really
to fish
the
up one of the
point.
fish in there? It sounds like old Snappy was a really strong fight. Wouldn't anyone ever want to see if they could pair up against the avatar of Angelus himself?
Oof. Them's fighting words you're talking, boy, and I like it. Old Snappy, we respect that his time has passed, but, I mean, if one was to create... I heard tales about them netting off some areas and releasing some of the old champion fish down and seeing who's able to catch from the lot, but, nah, old Snappy we leave be. Old Snappy doesn't particularly like us, per se. Nobody really... Yeah, it'd be tough getting him out of there, I'll say. He's kind of like a little... He seems a little off-put by the topic, and, like, he kind of doesn't really know what to say at this point. Like, it's just not really something folks do. Not with old Snappy in particular, I mean... And, no, the person who caught the fish, they're all tagged. The person who caught the fish is able to, of course, except for the ones Angelus tosses in, naturally. Old Snappy here, no, he wouldn't. He's the property of the temple, essentially.
I see. That's too bad. I have a friend over there that just loves a challenge. He would have loved to try to fight off such a legendary fish.
Do you point towards Huge again?
Oh, hell yeah. Huge is all the fucking clout I need here.
Well, this wood elf individual with the straw hat, raises it up, raises his eyebrows, and says, hot damn! Alright. Well, now that's a fight I'd love to watch. Oh my god. Oh man. That gentleman could probably give Angelus a run for his money. He got the right line. My god.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for the information. And in regards to the rod you're looking at, I'm sad to say I don't know a ton about it, but I do think, based on my knowledge of crafting, that one over there, and I'd indicate to like just whatever one. Like I don't know. Obviously, I don't see what they all look like, but I would say that one over there might be a good fit.
And this is in reference to who? Matching with it?
To the so you said the elf guy was looking at rods.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is,
Oh, you just
I
kinda...
don't myself know a lot about fishing rods, but based on the craftsmanship, I think that one might be a good fit for you, and I
Eh,
indicate to one of them.
interesting. You know what? Go ahead and make a, Damn, what kind of check?
I don't.
Straight
So
intelligence, maybe? Or
yeah.
are you just being more, it's a conversational piece? Conversational
Uh,
out.
well, so here's my question: would any of my knowledge base of being
Oh,
like a craftsman roll over into this? Would I have any idea of which ones would be good?
I'm gonna be
Or would
honest,
I have to
it's
make a
tough.
roll first to indicate that?
It's tough. Here, I'll just make a history check for me, or with nah, yeah, just make a straight history check for me, and that'll sort of indicate the
Yeah.
intention here.
So like I got a 13 to like
Yeah,
my
yeah,
knowledge
I'd
base.
say you don't know enough about fishing rods in particular. It's not exactly a forged, like, it's
Yeah.
not like forging a blade or the head of an axe or something like that, where it's a solid piece that you can then, hone and observe, and there's certain techniques and things. You don't know the techniques
Yeah.
exactly for these more detailed work, or specifically with the lines that, supposedly these metal lines that the Forge Master is so proud of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it would just be for conversation. I also have an idea of what to do next. So I would say thanks. I would say I think that would be a good fit, more of in a conversational manner,
Okay.
like
And he
take a
he
peek
kind
at
of
that
looks
one,
back at it and
and then
says,
I'd head over.
"Oh yeah, all right. I think I am picking up what you're putting down." And he goes off and he does the purchase. You were saying?
And I take note of this guy, and I say, "Hey, nice to meet you. I might want to talk later,
This short
but I
halfling
have
gentleman
something to
who's
do."
sort of
And then I'd head back to these guys.
whoop. He says, "Oh
Uh,
hey, what? Oh, all right, bye."
come, you could follow. I'll talk to you in a sec. Sorry about that. I just have something
Yeah,
pressing.
okay.
I'm very interested.
Ship's not heading out till the afternoon. I got time. He kind of sips a bit of a drink he's working on.
As Zen rolls up, Siegfried would point at the fish.
Good
Zen.
eye, Sig.
As
Good eye.
Siegfried points,
You're always one step
you
ahead.
see the jaw slowly opening and closing, water kind of flowing ever so slightly in and out, and it's staying oh so still in the water.
Oh,
This sort of
I wish I had speak with animals.
palish, vaguely whitish green form of the snout sticking out from between some rocks, rocky outcropping in the center of.
So, out of game,
Yeah.
if I were to throw the salamander in here, would they think that I was their god?
I don't.
Do you think that's a good idea? Also, you have a very distinct look. The god appears to be, in all depictions that you've seen, and based on the stories that Zen has heard, the ambiguity appears to be an important factor. You,
All right.
Siegfried, are a very unambiguous looking individual.
All right, but what if we did this? What if he was in Scourge, and I used spiritual weapon to make a spiritual fishing rod that was just floating like in his space?
Keep
I don't think that would
talking.
work. That would be even worse.
Damn.
You guys are trying to catch fish, I see.
I uh something like that. Guys, so I think I have two ideas
That
for what we can do here.
that that little green one over there.
Supposedly he's pretty big.
You would have heard about old Snappy. He's a
Yeah.
15-footer.
No.
An old armored freshwater fish from the magical ascending menagerie. Supposedly has a body count supposedly was tossed in there by Angulus 75 years back.
This green fish right there in the tank, or is that just like
Sorry,
shit?
I'll blow up the image for you.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, no, I was referring to that one.
This
I
is
was
the
just
appropriate
asking,
scale for the
is it
creature.
in that? Is it in that tank right there?
Okay.
Hey.
If it is pointed out to you, you can see it hiding between. You can see its jaw, which is about like I'd say 1.5 feet long, and relatively narrow, sort of slowly opening and closing, and sort of it's just idling. You cannot see its body. You can see its jaw sticking out of between a rocky outcropping in the center.
And
The fish seem to be swimming in a circular motion around this kind of larger central rocky outcropping of like 3 or 4 like very large like 10-foot boulders that seem to have sort of just been stacked in the center and are kind of like providing this sort of pseudo cave that is in the center, and they give it a wide
And-
berth. You notice.
And you lot want to get this fish out of the tank.
Uh,
Right here?
maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Uh, hey, Sig.
Am I correct or not?
I don't know. We don't know if we need to. We d- w- uh, but I think I do have a couple ideas. They were talking about that big one, right, guys? You heard about it?
The big one out in the sea. You haven't heard a ton of
What it?
details about it. Everybody just keeps calling it the big one.
Well, apparently the an avatar of Angulus will sometimes, based on if there's legends of a big fish, he'll go in and catch them and bring them here. And that old Snappy is one of such thing. If we were to catch the big one and bring it here, we can either maybe make an offering to Angulus and just ask him about what we're looking for, or if anything else, it could lead us to the next step. Another thing is, how many days have passed since our fight with uh with
The
the
awful worm.
yeah, how many days have
Only
passed?
one. This was it's relatively close comparatively.
Okay, if we wait a couple days, I might be able to do a little recon in the ethereal plane and see if I
Oh.
can find anything.
Oh.
Also, can I see anything with my crown?
Here?
Yes.
You know, I keep forgetting about that. Thank you for thank you for reminding me whenever you do, because it's always interesting. You notice 1 or 2 ethereal fish within the tank. Spirits, perhaps.
All right.
Standard looking fish, although no, never mind. They seem bony. Like their face comes down into a beak from what appears to be like a very heavily armored front half. You see one that's about like 7 feet long, roughly, sort of swimming around the bottom. Sort of swims through the rocks and through where Old Snapper is. And you see another one that it looks like just a skeleton of a fish, and it's just swimming around the tank. It's probably only like a foot long, but you notice it's just a skeleton of a fish just swimming around.
I want to look at old Snappy and talk to it in deep speech and
Sort of
ask, "Can you
through
understand
the
me?"
water,
in
through the
deep
glass of the
speech.
tank.
I'm gonna get as close as I can, looking at it. Try to make it as obvious as possible as I'm facing it, and say in deep speech, "Can you understand me?"
In deep speech, through the tank towards the fish. Okay. This was specifically towards Old Snappy.
Yes.
Uh, You don't see any particular change in the actions of any of the fish in the tank, including Old Snappy.
Well, that's all I had. All right, so what do you guys think? Should I search? Should we wait a couple days and I could do a search, or and we can try to catch the big one? What do you guys think? I'm pretty much talking to Sig
So,
and
when
Huge.
you're on the ethereal plane, can you only see the things that are on the ethereal plane?
No, I can. It like overlaps,
The
so I can
material is
see.
depicted, you can see it as a gray outline. So you can see everything, it's just gray and faded.
Could you theoretically like walk through the tank and see if there's anything in the cave that
That's what
Oh,
I was
straight
thinking
up.
about
Yeah, he
doing.
can do that.
I was also thinking about looking under the temple.
Which you could also, as ethereal, yes, you could also do.
I was so, and with my phase bar equipment, I can slightly interact with things that are on the material
Of
plane.
course,
what?
going underground with those is difficult on a fact that they are on both planes simultaneously.
Yeah, I'll have to keep them in my bag of holding when I'm
Yeah.
in between things. So, so what do you think? You think we try to go catch the big one? We spend like while I recharge my crown.
See if we
Oh,
just not just
all right.
stares at you.
Oh, he's just staring at me. I thought he said he just nods. Um, all right. Um, well, my only, you know what? He didn't say no, and he's usually pretty apathetic. So I'm gonna take that as, since that's the only plan, as good enough. I'm gonna roll right now to see how many charges my crown recharged.
Go ahead. Rip.
Damn.
Uh, Keil. From what you heard from, one sec, from Charmet, um, his interaction with the big one, his entire ship was pulled probably about 10, 15 feet, off its position, uh, in a circular motion as the line was reeling and getting pulled out and getting caught, and just it was a massive fight for like 3 hours until eventually the line ended up the rod itself ended up breaking, pulling the entire line, the entire spool, into the water.
So how long has this like the big one legend like been around? Has it been like weeks, months?
70. Oh, the current one.
Kale, the answer to that question, from what you heard, uh, it's Charlotte talked about it like it's been like the past probably like 4 years. Not a very long time, but if something moved into the region, that could be. If a new predator moved into the region, it could have been a migratory creature, perhaps, or maybe something that has just been generated from the depths. No one's sure. There's all kinds of theories. Some say it's a sea monster. Of course, many people say it's a sea monster on account of where they live. Some of them say it's actually a giant crab that scuttles along the bottom and pulls down lines just to fuck with people. Some say it's a giant grouper that just inhales the line and just keeps it all in its gullet. All kinds of different. Some people say that it's merfolk who are just fucking with them. Um, yeah, all kinds of different
Mm.
tales.
Whatever it is, it's some kind of fuckery. People are irritated about it, and I'm
Irritated and
not
excited.
terribly interested unless it helps out the people who are helping out me.
Indeed.
Sig, do you think
Oh yeah.
there's if for is someone else talking or is it just me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay. I hear like a.
That was
I hear
me. Sorry.
myself. Okay, so Sig,
Oh, it's
in order to.
it's Keil's mic.
I see. So Sig, in order to catch this thing, I think our only chance is huge here, and we'll need a real high quality net and not net, rod and line for that. Now I already talked to the guy over there, and he said it would cost something around 2,000 gold to do that type of thing. It's a big investment. You think we should do it?
You say 100 for 20 feet?
Correct. And he recommended at
One.
least 200 feet of line.
Alright, okay.
Oh, it's thousand. Wait, no,
That's
that I was
100,000.
right.
Hold off
Wait,
on the purchasing of line.
It's
I might be
100
able.
times 10, right? That's 1,000.
I might
yeah.
be able to get it out of the water without any line.
And how would you do that? Uh, what was it? What is it? Kale, was it?
Yes, and he magic, and he does the SpongeBob hand waving thing.
Well, here's the thing, Kale. We don't know if there's any rules involved in what it is we're trying to do. So, like, I don't want to break any of these rules in case what we're looking for is some, like, sacred thing or something. I don't know. I don't, I don't really get the.
You really
Uh,
don't know, honestly.
we have literally no clue.
You know you're looking for. You assume it's treasure.
Don't. Well, no, we knew it was a treasure hunter ship. So
Was it a treasure hunter ship or was it a mass murderer's ship? Who happened to
no,
kill a
it
couple
what
treasure hunters?
before the mass murder,
Of course.
it was a treasure
Well,
hunter ship.
we
This
also
is true.
don't know that. They just had
No,
maps.
well, no, what's it called? The Sky Knights. The Sky Knights said that there was a treasure hunting group that had recently gone missing that they
Yeah.
were looking
Yeah,
into.
exactly. Of
And
course, when you have
yeah,
In
a
this area
unlabeled map,
specifically.
it doesn't imply what the treasure is, though. Just to make that
so
clear.
yeah, so we don't know. So I don't want to like
Well,
cross any lines.
given that it's a ship, your best bet would be to look underwater. Have you considered doing that yet?
Well,
Just
that's kind of what
going
I was
underwater?
thinking the with my plan. Well, but the thing's buried. It indicated that it's buried.
Mm-hmm.
So that'd mean underground, and this is an island. So it'd be somewhere in
Mm.
between land and water.
Ah,
So out
I
of
see
game,
the issue.
is the like the temple like on a hill?
Yeah, the
Is it on
temple's on a
flat
hill.
land?
It's on the top
Alright,
of a hill with a bit of a spiraling path that leads up to it.
alright.
Mm.
So to get under the temple, we don't really have to dig through the temple. We just go through the hill.
That's true.
Mm.
Yeah. So we can, yeah, but that'll probably take more time than it'll take to recharge my, and we might get caught. Then it'll take for me to recharge my wow, my crown. Though I'm only sitting at one charge right now, and I need six more. So
Hmm. Well, while you go do that, maybe some of us should go looking around underwater to see if maybe there's more to the temple underground.
sure. If you help us out, we'll make it worth your while. Go talk to this guy.
Oh, please. Any safe passage closer to Arcanautus is pay enough for me.
Nice.
Although I would appreciate the money.
Zen, are you going off to interact with the halfling?
Yeah, I'm gonna be very straightforward with him. I'll be like, hey,
Hello there.
um,
Yes, hi. I saw
uh,
you. You said hi before and rushed off. Hello. Welcome back.
yeah, sorry about that. Busy. I'm sort of like captaining a few ships. Had to
Oh,
talk to.
impressive. Bit of a fleet you've got
Yeah.
there.
So I heard some rumors, and I'm gonna be curt with you. I'm gonna be straightforward. Are you blessed by Angelus? Like, are you a like a paladin of his, or anything of that sort?
Oh, I wouldn't say I'm a paladin. I wouldn't go that far. No, I'm just an individual who has had much luck on the seas and with my line, and I have the grim determination that when I set my line, I will reel in whatever's on the other end of it. That, some say, is a blessing from Angulus. I say that, sure, I'll accept any blessings, but it's just my own stubbornness, frankly.
All right. Well, you're the only person that I've heard that is somewhat similar to what I'm looking for, unless I've missed something, which I'm saying out of game.
Out of game, you didn't.
Okay, cool. So,
Just to expedite things.
I'm gonna be like I said, as
they
straightforward as
they don't
possible.
appear to
I'm
have
gonna offer
like
you a job.
a military like guy. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna offer you a job.
Oh,
This
do
is
tell.
a rather high paying job. It's long term. Uh,
Okay. I'm
uh,
interested to hear
I
it at
work
least. I've got some business around these parts, especially
I
the
work
last
for the
couple of
salt
years.
miners.
What? Oh, what? What? He's taken aback slightly. What? Oh, 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 oh. Um. Okay.
Interested?
I mean, what? What's the what? Like he's taken aback a little, and also now a little apprehensive, and kind of feels a. He seems to feel a little out of his depth. What? Ooh, what kind of work do the Saltmires have for little old me?
We're Leviathan hunters.
Ho, ho, ho. Okay. Ah. I usually try to avoid
You
tackling
see that
things
big guy over
outside
there?
the weight
See that
class of
big
my
guy over
ship,
there? We
but
don't avoid anything.
I'm sorry.
You see that big guy over there? We
Yes.
don't need to avoid anything.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, he's a big one. Woof.
He wrestles them for fun.
You know, lot of tales you hear as a fisherman. I'm inclined to actually believe you. Yeah.
So, we're looking for someone with your talents to join us. Also, I've heard rumors that you've interacted with the big one.
Ah,
Uh,
yes, the big one. The one
and
that
I
got
heard your ship got
away.
fucked for it.
It did a bit of a number on old Sweet Moon.
And
Yeah,
with what
she's getting fixed in the port right now. You know, she's got a couple more days of rest. I'm giving her some time. I'm just sticking by the shoreline. But you're saying what exactly?
so we're as I said, we're Leviathan hunters. We're looking for someone with a little Angelus touch to help us in our um, job. As I said, this is a long-term position. You would be working under me and my crew, well, you'd be working under me, but with my crew,
All right.
and you'd be sort of like a specialist and give us that fisherman's touch and what to expect, how to really rear those big ones in so that we can finish it off before it causes any damage to other boats and settlements around the waters near us.
All right. Okay, I'm picking up what you're putting down here.
And we're hearing that this big one might be one of such catches that we might need to handle for our job. So, with that big guy over there, we're hoping what we might go for to try to hook in the big one.
Huh. I'm interested. If we're talking about taking on the big one, hunting for that line snapper. Well, no, the line held, the rod was the issue. Uh, getting the opportunity to fight him again? I can't pass that up. But about this long-term position, would you need me to stop sailing for a while, or because I'm not. Listen, I'm a man of a particular skill set, and if I'm being honest, that's about it. I'm a fisherman. That's all I do. I mean, if that's what you
Well,
need, then I'm here for it. Especially if I'm getting some gold out the deal. That's never a minus. Man's gotta eat.
all right. How about this?
Something besides fish, of course.
How about this? How about you go, if we do end up going after the big one, how about you tag along with us, see how we operate, and if you're interested afterwards, then I can see what I can do. As I said, we don't know, we haven't been directly assigned to hunt it down yet. We're looking into other things. We're trying to get an idea of Angelus and his blessings and any things he's left behind.
Ah, anything he's left behind, you say?
Yeah. Do you know anything?
Hmm. Uh, you know, they say somewhere on the island, Angelus left behind his fishing gear. No one's ever been able to find it, but lots of folks have tried. Supposedly, he buried the stuff is somewhere around here, but the patrons of the temple, as well as those that keep it and keep the grounds, generally don't very much appreciate folks trying to dig up the whole island searching for some property that isn't theirs. Um,
Fair.
he... I just found it interesting that you brought that up. I've been
Well,
tempted.
that's interesting
Don't get me
information.
wrong. I've been tempted to grab my spade and hop to it, just digging around willy-nilly. But, if I could... The rod, I was using some of the best gear they have. I was using some of the best boat-mounted gear that they have. The line didn't snap. No. They sucked the whole thing down into the briny depths. But the rod cracked against the onslaught. 3 hours. 3 hours. I don't know if anything besides... what was it called? One sec.
Adamantine?
No. But also, hey, that's an interesting idea.
Well, who can get adamantine?
Give me 1 sec. I wrote it here. Anything besides the anchor rod could survive this onslaught.
What's that?
The anchor rod, and he points up towards the image of the Angulus, the mechanical one. They have one inside as well, slightly smaller. The anchor rod is Angulus's line he uses. Supposedly, it got the name from him once tying an anchor to it and casting it into the sea to catch a sea serpent. Now, personally, I find that absolutely ludicrous. And definitely hyperbole. But it is generally accepted that it is a powerful magical item that would not give in under the duress of a creature of this world tugging at it, regardless of their strength. Somewhere on the island, and he kind of like stares down into the water and sort of sips his drink again. But yes, of course.
All right.
If you're going after the big one, I'll happily join you. I'm usually pretty much right here. I like to watch the fish.
Okay. Thank you for that, and I'll let you know, and hopefully we'll talk soon, and I'll head back to the group and essentially relay what I learned there, and just like, yeah, I definitely think that I should go ghost and look through the island. I'll be able to do it for like an entire day, so I'll have plenty of time to scour the place.
Indeed.
But it'll take I mean, I can't control how long it takes for this thing to recharge, so it might take a couple days. And here's what I'm thinking. So it seems like the temple itself, the people here don't seem too keen on people looking for it. But and like I said before, I don't want to cross any lines. But if we, in exchange for it, this legendary gear, make an offering to Angulus, aka the big one, we might, it might be a-okay. You know what I mean? I don't know how this whole god stuff works. I'm just a blacksmith.
We were also
But-
ASMR. That is kind of our thing.
Well, I was born of humans. I was Fey touched and Celestial touched, and that's how I came to be this whatever the hell I am. I wasn't born.
Asimar, by the rules. A little bit
Well,
of
no,
something
no.
else.
Aasimar work the same way as Ganassi.
Yeah,
They can either be born of it or touched by something of that
Exactly.
plane.
He
I
was
looked it
he
up.
was touched.
I was touched as a child
Oh no.
by Numa.
Oh no.
I ain't family friendly there.
She's like his adoptive mom. She's like his third mom.
Yeah.
Or I guess Numa would technically be my second mom, and
Yeah.
Halo would be my third mom.
Yeah. Your third, slightly more rambunctious mom.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's a pretty good plan. We could. What do you guys think? Well, we might end up having to stay in the area longer, but I mean, legendary. It sounds pretty interesting. It's just imagining what that could be made of. The potential ores it could be made of. Legendary fishing line and rod. I mean, it's not a weapon per se, but it's definitely getting my blood pumping.
It's a weapon of their
Plus-
trade.
Yeah, that is 100% true. Plus, hey, there might be like a spear or harpoon too. Like that still counts as fishing gear. You never know.
Of course,
And,
of course.
and anything else, even if I don't find it, it's a chance to check out the tank, see if there's anything going on with that fish, or heck, like
Excuse me for one moment. Sorry, you can keep talking. I'm gonna mute my mic for a sec.
okay, and heck, even like if we just end up trying to catch the big one, like if we do end up catching it, there's definitely going to be some loot involved with that. What do you think, Sig? You're the man to talk about this thing. You're a man of big ambitions. You're the man of the second hugest ambitions I know.
He's just gonna shake his head, yeah.
All right, all right. What do you think, Huge? You're oddly silent right now. I think Huge agrees.
Huge.
Damn it! I was hoping you would
Sorry,
take
yeah,
that.
I know. I'm back. Huge.
You work slick.
Yeah, something came up. Huge would kind of nod and then look back at you and say, "Sorry, could you repeat that? I wasn't paying attention."
Uh, big fish,
Big
you
fish,
punch.
big fish, huge fish? Question mark.
Uh, gigantic fish,
Oof,
potentially.
oof. He seems taken aback by such a phrase. Ugh, gigantic. Huge is you see the anticipation in his eyes, that glow that you've seen before.
We've all had the glow.
Yes. This is why I hang out with you guys. And he kind of cracks his knuckles, which it makes such a noise that everybody in the building like looks over, thinking that something like broke, like a chair was cracked in half or something. But no, it's just him cracking his knuckles. And he indicates this is going to be an interesting fight. I think not one that I'm particularly used to doing in such a way. Let's go catch
We're
us a
gonna
big
need
one.
you to reel that bad boy in and then hit it where it hurts.
I will cause it huge pain.
All right. So we're gonna have to wait some time for my crown to recharge. I'll do a quick search around. We can scout around the island while we do that. That new guy said he's gonna check underwater. Maybe he'll catch sight of the thing. And what I'm thinking is, I might be able to get these guys to make the entire thing, maybe free.
Interesting. Interesting. I'm interested to see how you go about that. I suppose you do have some
Wanna work?
resources available, don't you?
Wanna work with adamantine?
Adam, what? Huh?
Do you want to work with adamantine?
Are you serious? What are you selling?
Something like that. I can
Well,
give
now
you.
that is an ambiguous and slightly concerning way to say it.
I can get my hand. Oh, it's not important.
I
I
am even
can
more
give you
concerned now.
adamantine.
I think I'll
Okay,
pass.
I see. Okay, I have Adam. Okay, I have a wholesaler for adamantine. I can get it almost instantly. Good enough? So
That
what I'm
is intriguing. What
it's
are you
magic.
proposing?
All right. I provide you adamantine, and you make the strongest fishing line, hook, and rod, all the parts. I'm not aware of all the parts, but all of it, strongest possible for
The
my
reel,
friend
the
over
spindle,
there.
the line itself, the guides, the. Huh.
I give you adamantine.
I would need
You
time to. I have the casts, of course, but I would need time to process the material. This is. I've never worked with adamantine before. This would be a new experience for me. Excuse me.
Bless
Forge
you.
dust just kind of gets in the nose sometimes. Sorry. But I've never worked with it before.
Well, I could help. I know my
Oh.
way around a forge.
So you say. He kind of considers your offer.
If
Go ahead
if
and
I
make a persuasion check for me. Or what
Okay.
is your deal actually? Before we go to the persuasion check, what is the deal that you are proposing?
I provide the materials, he builds it, and I provide him extra materials as pay.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. He brings out. You see a spark in his eye as you finish the proposal. Ah.
I want a near
Prototyping?
indestructible
A bit of
rod.
advertisement, perhaps, and then you'd leave me with some material for the next buyer, eh?
Yep, it's a fair deal, don't you say?
We'll
Plus,
see. We'll
it's good
see.
experience for both of us working with adamantine.
Of course, of course. Very rare opportunity to get to work with a mythical metal. Curious, ever so curious. You've piqued my interest, sir. I am, intrigued and elated by this offer. Alright. If you can get me the material, I'd say I can give you... Give me 3 days, I'd say, to, let me line things up, get things settled, run some experiments to see what the material, how thick the thread needs to be, if I'm able to make the required minor components, any of those sorts of things. Of course, this would not be... I could always go back and decorate later. This would be a purpose-built model. It would be
Function
the first.
over everything. That is
Yes,
my
exactly.
that
would
is
be the
my
key.
motto.
To see
Don't
if
worry,
this
I'll
would
help
work.
every step of the way.
I like the Corio jib, but go ahead and roll a persuasion check for me.
All right. There's all right. Persuasion.
I'm
not
gonna be
very good
working
at
with
that.
this material, and it's gonna take up quite a bit of my time. The time I could be using to fill other orders. And now go
Yeah,
ahead and
but
roll
time
persuasion.
you wouldn't be working with adamantine. Uh, let's see. What's my persuasion is a +1.
15?
Yep.
Alright. For the deal that you're offering, I'll say... For my time, I'd request 50 gold just for the time this is going to take me to get it down and for the amount of space this is going to occupy in the forge as well. Just a little placeholder, let's say. I appreciate that. And I'll say, if you're assisting with the forging, if you provide the materials for the service I am providing and the use of my forge, we're looking for what? Leviathan class lion or?
Yep. Top tier.
75% off. Significant discount. I'd do 50% normally for the materials. If you're assisting with the process and you'll be contributing to the labor, I can only count you as part of the crew for that segment as well. 75% off the line and the rod and the hook. I'll do this for you. I am, frankly, quite excited for this opportunity. Not every day a smith gets to work with adamantine.
You can say that again.
Not every
It
day a
gets
smith
it
gets to
gets
work
my
with
hammer hand
adamantine.
itching. I see. You actually did. All right. How much adamantine is this gonna take?
All right. I'd say the issue comes with the line. The rod itself. Let me just do a quick. Oh wait. Oops.
If you're checking for weight,
Because it's
for
not gonna
rod,
actually tell me the physical weight. It's gonna tell me the weight of the line.
like the weight of a fishing rod is
How
typically
heavy is a fishing rod? That's
it's like it wouldn't be more than 5 pounds.
yeah. You're right. So we'll say 10 pounds of the material.
Okay.
If you're gonna do the line out of it too.
Sure.
My math isn't gonna be 100% on this, but yeah, We'll just say that.
Ju-
Do we have
Alright,
the
well,
conversion rate already? Did we talk about this?
yeah, it's 1.5. So like whatever. It's 25% off for gems. So like if whatever's so we said that one bar is like 10 pounds, right?
Yeah.
Or so it would be one bar of adamantine.
Yeah.
Uh, so it would, and we said adamantine costs 2,000 uh gold typically. So it'd be 1,750 gems.
1,750 gold of gems.
Yeah, which I can do.
I think that I need to head out.
I was just actually about to say we're gonna actually close it out, because I do have a thing as well that is coming up. All right, so let's make an ending scene here. Zen, you shake the hands of the half-orc smith Drawn, as he seems to have the fires of a forge master in his eyes, and he sees it in yours. A deal has been struck, as you are oh so keen on doing. Siegfried, you notice as you look into the fish tank towards the old Snappy, you see a slight shift forward, and you see the eye open wide, circular completely. Go ahead and roll a competing intimidation check.
Don't usually do this to me. +7.
I was hoping you would have Zed shake his hand and then the other Smith kiss him from out of nowhere, the blue.
No, hush. None
Oh
of that.
God.
Oh no.
Siegfried,
Oh, wow.
you lock eyes with this fish, and your left eye twitches ever so slightly. As it does, the fish slowly moves back into the rocks, breaking eye contact, and you feel deep in your soul that you just lost something.
I have to kill that fish now.
Huge, kind of hefts a little puff onto his shoulder as he looks over and sees Siegfried shaking hands with the smith, and he says,
Zen.
Sorry, Zen, my bad. And he says, all right, well, I think I'm going to speak to those folks about perhaps a rod or something along those lines. Well, wait, I feel like Zen might have a plan. Well, Little Puff, you might be able to get a chance to see some fun fish in the near future. And Little Puff says, yeah. And that's where we'll end tonight's session.
Damn, I come near the end always. That's the goof.
Ripperoonie, my
Sorry.
dude. All right, everybody
just
have
got
a
done what I
beautiful
needed to
rest of
do
your
for
night, and
family,
we
you
will
know?
see you next week.